interested ako sa episode na to. Anyway, kamusta ka?
Ayos lang. May kausap ako, friend natin. She was, maganda. Hindi ko alam saan pupunta yung kwento eh. Pero, kausap ko earlier. Medyo malungkot siya kasi yung work niya, which is corporate, parang nag-iba ng direction after working so hard on something that I do not understand. Basta nag-iba ng direction, so parang na-throw off siya, di ba? Sabi ko, okay lang yan. May dalawa akong kwento. Yung isa, yung kinuwento mo sa akin last week, si Tom Brady. Sabi ko, ito, binigyan niya na ng 5 singsing?
Oo.
5 singsing yung Patriots.
6 yata. Kasi 7 rings na siya ngayon eh.
O yan, 6 rings yung Patriots.
Oo.
Tapos, tinanggal siya kasi, I don't know, old age. Di ba? Parang matanda na eh. And then he wins another Super Bowl
on a different team.
On a different team
na never won, I think, in 17, 18 years. Parang
diba? So sabi ko, hindi mo alam kung anong dadalhin ng universe sa'yo eh. Diba? Parang,
trust
sabi
the
ko, trust minsan follow the wave. Yung isa din, nag-guest kami sa Wish Bus. Recently. Tapos, ito, sinabi ko rin sa kanya. Sabi ko, napakaliit, hindi ko inisip at the time, pero hindi pwede si Diego kasi may daddy duties siya. So for 2 weeks, I was learning his parts while trying to sing my parts and playing my parts for the set. Pagdating sa Wish Bus, pare, wala kaming crew, syempre. Pandemic eh. So walang crew, wala kaming extra gear. For the first time, wala kaming extra gear, nasira yung gitara ni Mong.
Oh, okay.
Siyempre, di ba parang for the first time, wala siya extra guitars na dala. Kasi wala kaming crew eh. Dala niya yung effects, guitars, whatever, di ba? Dala ko rin yung guitar, keyboard, effects, vocal effects, mic, di ba? So sabi ko, okay, you have to use my guitar. Tapos, at the time, parang, I was so bummed out kasi 2 weeks ako nag-practice eh, di ba? Pinractice ko yung parts ni Diego and playing keyboard and singing. Tapos, baliwala, di ba? Parang, baliwala. Pero, ito yung turnaround. Which is, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, play that guitar. I'll switch to keyboards and singing. Nung nakita ko kahapon yung video, yung mix. Hey, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Ibig ko sabihin, parang, mas gumanda pa kasi I got to concentrate more on the singing and the keyboard part without computing the Diego guitar parts in my head. So para mas okay pala eh. Diba? Baka
sinakyan napapa-okay yung thing na hindi mo na-expect. Parang gano'n.
Oo. Pag sinakyan mo lang, so yan ang muni-muni ko today. Ikaw ano? From Tom Brady, corporate.
It's good. Ako naman, kahapon, tinanay ko manood ng Super Bowl before work. So, nung halftime, medyo, napanood pa pala yung halftime show?
Hindi nga eh, wala pa as busy yesterday.
Sobrang galing.
Okay ba?
Grabe. Anyway, so, yun nga, nung nag-research ako, parang nakita ko na parang, yun nga, 7 rings. Tapos parang mapapaisip ka kasi may pina-follow rin ako isang bagong guy. Pangalan niya David Goggins. Kilala mo ba yun?
Hindi.
Ano siya, parang sobrang hardcore lang na dude. Tapos palagi niya sinasabi na stay hard. Parang ganun. So parang grabe na parang kasi may isang parang Atlanta Hawks owner. Tapos meron siyang 2 books. Parang it's called Living with the Seal. Tsaka Living with the Monk. So parang 2 yung ginawa niya. Parang I think 1 month tumira siya with monks. Tapos yung isa 1 month tumira siya with seals, which is David Goggins kasi Navy SEAL siya.
Okay.
So parang although okay na yung parang kinalalagyan niya, parang naisip niya siguro meron pa akong pwedeng i-improve. So parang nangyari, tumira si David Goggins sa kanya for a month. Tapos kunyari, 4 a.m. gigisingin siya. Tapos sabihin sa kanya, okay, wake up, motherfucker. Tapos it's hard to, sorry for the expletive. Pero ganoon. Tapos parang time to run, time to run. Tapos grabe, as in sabi niya, sobrang life-changing. Tapos yun nga, in relation to Tom Brady, parang paminsan feeling natin na parang we're too tired to do this, we're too tired to do that. Pero yun nga, I think most of us are only at baka 50% capacity most of the time, diba? So kahit na nakakapagod, paminsan isipin na, shit, pag uwi ko, pagod na ako mag-workout or ganyan. Or to do something extra for your loved ones, parang kaya pa yung extra mile na yun. Parang ganun. So parang Tom Brady din, diba? Excellence. Mahirap siya gawin eh. Kasi parang andali, parang paminsan, okay, tatamad na ako, tulog na ako. Tapos medyo iiba rin yung mood mo. Parang ganyan. Kasi parang, you know, you're tired. You have so many excuses. Diba? Yun. Saka nagbabasa rin pala ako ng podcast, ng YouTube comments natin.
Oh, anong bago?
Sobrang, I mean, it's more of the same. Thank you sa mga tao na nagko-comment ng guests nila. Keep them coming. Nakakatuwa talaga. As in, keep it up, guys. I mean, just give us more input, I guess. Okay yan. Tsaka thank you rin pala sa Likhang Arena for sending Carmi. They sent Carmi some bread.
Cool.
Last week.
Ano yung bagong flavors ng Likhang Harina?
I think it's seeded buckwheat. It's for more for pregnant moms and
wow.
mga ganyan. So healthy siya. Yun.
Anong mo? Favorite Super Bowl halftime? Kasi yun lang naman yung show. Ano napanood mo? Ano yung best? Ito ba? The Weeknd na?
Kasi yung mga iba medyo mas pop di ba?
Mostly pop naman.
Yung Red Hot parang grabe yung scandal na nangyari dun, di ba? So, medyo hindi ko siya ma-count as astig. Kasi di ba nagkaroon ng fiasco dahil nakita na hindi naka-plug, gano'n. Yun. Parang ayaw yata nila pakita na nagli-lip sync sila. I mean, dahil nagli-lip sync sila, todo na napapakita na walang chord. Parang
tama. Live naman yata si Kiddies eh.
Hindi yata eh. I think they record the live performance and okay. They put it on the -1, parang gano'n.
Okay. Tapos, so sino yung best mo? Ito yung candidates ha.
Mas pinaka alam ko fan ako ng lahat ng songs kasi like Miley Cyrus or Maroon 5 sakto lang, magaling pero ito parang medyo contemporary tsaka medyo ma-hip hop. So
yung kay Janet, yung wardrobe
yun nga sa ko parang I guess yung kay Janet Jackson na yung best.
Yung kay Madonna, kay Beyonce, kay Bruno Mars, dami eh.
Ay,
Foo Fighters.
Bruno Mars. Nga pala.
Bruno Mars nag-drum solo eh.
Grabe rin yun.
Ako yata Prince yata ako yung kay
Prince.
Ayun,
di ba yun? Hindi ko pa napanood yata yung Prince.
Pare, si Prince umulan. Umulan nung Purple Rain. Gaano ka perfect yun? Hindi mo pwedeng pwede na umulan ngayon. Okay, di ba? Pare, umulan sa Purple Rain. Syempre, purple yung ilaw. So, totoong Purple Rain. Hindi mo pwedeng iplano yun eh.
Galing.
Sobrang galing eh. Parang, yun yata yung na ano ako.
Pinaka-memorable.
Oo.
Akala ko yung kay Janet Jackson eh. O nga pala, rest in peace rin kay J. Dilla bukas, Feb 10.
Bukas. Kaya pala naglalabasan din sa feed ko yung mga beats niya.
Bukas, rest in peace.
Si
to the great
Idol.
one. Yes. Okay, so do you wanna, let's intro our guest?
Okay.
So our next guest, I've come to know him from Us to Evil Zero. Kasi yun yung time nung NU talaga, I think medyo peak, tapos palagi sila lumalabas on TV, mix yung mga music videos nila. So, Mighty Heart Attack, Our Weekends Dissolved, sobrang ganda ng kanta na yun. Tapos, he's also the singer of Blas Ople. He won a Palanca Award at 19, which is phenomenal. Parang nabasa ko yun yung, di ko alam kung Nobel, basta parang one of our one of our top tier prizes that you could win. He's also the director of Keka, Rock and Roll, which is on Netflix right now. And he's also the executive producer of a lot of movies. As in, we'll get into it later. Sobrang dami. Tapos, he's also the host of Slate podcast and the head honcho at Globe Studios. So our next guest for episode 13 is none other than Quark Henares.
Ta-da!
Oh,
Hi, Quark.
Hey! Grabe, how do you do that? Ano? Kinakabit mo yung DSLR sa webcam, Rayms. Ang pogi ng lighting. I love it.
It's only what do you call this? It's not a DSLR. The other one.
Single.
No, mirrorless.
Oh, wow.
The cheap DSLR, the entry level. It's Simong taught me actually to connect it. Ano lang, HDMI.
Okay,
And then
so
yes, since it's dark in the basement, usually there's sunlight over here. Pero maulan ngayon, so now I have a real light. So medyo cinematic pero hindi ko sinasadya. Tinatamad lang ako ilapit.
love it. Bokeh goodness.
Are you home? Are you home? I like I like the evil.
ganda.
Yung nga nagko-complain kasi nasa balcony to. So yung mga guards parang, ma'am, pakitanggal na nga yung love dyan sa ano nyo. Kasi nagla-light up siya. Panira daw sa
sa condo.
sa condo.
So nasa labas yan, nakikita nila.
Yeah, at night nagiging.
But
Pero love yung top.
if I'm not mistaken, is that a Sonic Youth album title?
Yes, that's a Sonic Youth album.
Right.
Yes, so very good.
Wait, before anything, usually we start from where you start, but we want to start in the middle. Because when we were talking, kami ni Daren, parang, hey, who are we gonna have as guest next week? Sabi ko, tama-tama, sina Quark and Diego just released Rock and Roll. So we'd like to talk about Rock and Roll. Congratulations, first off.
Congrats.
Yes, thank you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so we're so happy.
For
we're so happy
having
na finally people get the chance to see it.
in Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Take us from the start. I've read a lot of articles about it, really nice articles na lumabas recently. Take us from the start. Paano nyo naisip ni Diego? Or ikaw nakaisip o siya, or how did it start?
no, I think yun, I think this was after Kek. May ginawa ako with Star Cinema called Wag Kang Nilingon, a horror film. And then but which was a great experience, and I loved it. But after Keka, I wanted to do something iba talaga. I'm sure you guys know this, diba? Iba talaga pag may personal investment ka sa sa film or sa song or sa album or whatever. The satisfaction is really different. So what I remember, okay, what else can I say? What else can I tell aside from Keka, which was like parang since high school, it's a film I wanted to do, and I na-realize ko na parang, oh well, no one's really told the story of local bands, diba? Local the OPM scene, especially the indie OPM scene. This was even before Tulad ng Dati came out.
Of the Dawn.
Yeah, so yun, we was thinking, okay, well that would be great kasi I grew up since 7 years old ako. May na ako eh, di ba? I was already exposed to a lot of the Pinoy bands. I met you, Rayms. I was 14 or 15, I remember, sa outside Club Dread. So I really grew up in the scene. So, and of course, parang, Diego and I were doing the radio show together, and
Not radio, in NU.
yeah, not radio, yeah, and then which turned into Let's Fun. And then I remember just telling him na, oy, gawa na tayo ng movie, because Diego, of course, is so important in my upbringing. He's the one who really got me into movies. He showed me yung mga Reservoir Dogs, mga Taxi Driver when I was 12. So,
Wow.
diba? Who better to make a movie with than than the guy who taught me about movies and bands. Diba? Yun.
Did your
But,
personal
well,
experiences being in bands like Us to Evil Zero and Blast Ople, did it influence your how you wrote the movie?
Definitely. I think wala pang Us to Evil Zero actually.
Hmm.
When Rock and Roll was written and made. But I think Us to Evil Zero we released our album like a year before the release. But we were going through yung mga audition tapes and everything 2007 pa. So imagine sinulat namin yung Rock and Roll 2005. It was really a long process like getting the film made. But I definitely would Blast Ople. There's a lot of experience. I think with Diego, yun, mula experience. Even from then, and definitely Sandwich. A lot of that experience came into the film. Yung joke is, I don't, even though we wrote the film, parang you can't really credit us as writers of the film because ang daming ang daming stuff just lifted from real life. Real conversations, real things that were overheard, etc.
take us through the writing. Parang, so you said 2 years. I didn't realize na ganun katagal. Because Jago was like, we're writing a film. I didn't realize. So do you like sit down? Do you have a weekly thing, monthly thing that you just write? Do you have a person like writing what you guys are talking about, or kayong dalawa lang talaga?
Yeah, I think so I've worked with so many writers, like even Ricky Lee and over the years. Pero very special and I guess very different yung experience namin ni Diego writing Rock and Roll. I think I would go to his apartment, yung nung Kapitolyo, and kind of like we would just write for hours and hours na parang before we would throw in yung structure, and then nung nagsusulat na kami, it was like how you see us usually, Rayms, na parang yung may different accents, may so imagine that, parang live, not radio na, but you're writing a film. So it's so funny now, especially now that the film is out on Netflix. Ang dami ko nakikitang may mga quotes from the film, tapos natatawa pa rin ako because I remember writing them. Yung mga yung after Yagi plays yung metal band, yung tangina nyo, salamat. Yung mga or di mo nirerespeto yung pagka second degree non-conformist ko yung mga ganun na parang almost in jokes So
how about the kasi ang daming nakita ko, ang daming cameos involved. Tsaka how was the casting and the arranging of cameos? How did you go about the process?
We really we really wanted to make it the most personal film. And of course and by that you cast, I mean, not necessarily the famous people, diba? Or the but the people we love, diba? That's why Mike Dizon, diba, waiter siya.
Si Kenji nandun. Si Kenji, sobrang natawa ako sa kanya.
So yung Mikey Amistoso, yung parang
yung parang manager.
Yeah. Ayun, and then of course there's that one moment na everybody was kind of there, Vin and Buddy, and because yun nga, I mean, diba, like I said, when I first met Rayms, I was 15. It was outside Club Dread, and then you just get surprised kasi biglang kinakausap ka ng idol mo. By that time, I think Caterpillar was already out also, so I'd been following the Head's career. I think I even saw your Rayms with Planet Garapata, or was that another one of your bands na and so parang just that feeling that overwhelming feeling na, oh my God, I'm really surrounded by these people who've inspired me. We really wanted to capture that.
Isa sa favorite parts ko na parang side story siya yung artist. the weird struggling artist. Like we all have that friend, diba? Or a few of our friends na nandun sa music scene, you know them, that they're slightly weird, but we're all weird. Diba? Pag tinatanong ako ni Atalip, sasabihin niya yung weird yung pet. Yes, anak, all your titos and titas are weird. They're musicians and artists. Saan galing yun? Ang ganda nun yung ginawa ni June.
Oh, solid.
Well, see, the plot of dealing with a roommate, I guess 10 years na, we can say it. Diba? Parang, Mong and Diego started living together.
Yes.
So when we were writing it, that was the beginning of Mong and Diego's bromance of living together. But of course, diba? Parang just the challenges of I guess adjusting to a roommate. Yun, one of the major and June Sabayton was based on June Sabayton. Sa fact na yun nga yung parang ito struggle natin yan tol eh. Parang diba parang palagi siyang
Tama.
And then may si Kaloy Olavides, diba may tae art talaga siya eh.
Yes.
May isa siyang project sa art school sa UP na parang na tinuro niya yung class, may performance art, how to make a sa tae sandwich. So he pulled out tapos nag-walk out yung mga classmates niya. So it's even weirder than real life, di ba? Parang so yun, that was the inspiration behind
Yakin fiction.
Yeah.
Pagkasulat nyo nung film, what came after? Parang, okay, we have a film. How do you pitch it? Diba? It's not a commercial. Yung artista nun, hindi pa sila sikat eh.
Oo.
Hindi pa sila sikat. How do you pitch it?
True.
Where did you go?
We pitched it as a rom-com. as a youth movie rom-com. So, but yun nga, I remember, I did Super Noipy because they said they would do RAKENROL after.
Okay.
So may mga one for us, one for you type. Pero hindi rin natuloy. But yun, I remember that was kind of like the deal na yun nga, it would be youth, parang jologs, parang trip, parang 'di ba all these parang gimmick gano'n, the TGIS. And then it would be rom-com between Irene and Audie. That's why I think a lot of the mainstream like if we had written the script knowing na hindi studio yung magpa-fund, I think it would have been a little more different. But you can really see a lot of the Pinoy movie tropes in the film. Yung mga sawe, yung mga hugot. But that's how we pitched it. In the end, it was really self-funded talaga. We funded it.
Mm. Actually, the OST, the soundtracks are very grabe. Ang ganda niya. How did you shortlist yung songs na gagamitin?
There were definitely songs that were in the script. Na script pa lang, we knew we wanted it to be there. Balikbayan Box being number one. There we really wanted to end it. Kahit wala namang balikbayan sa film, but just that feeling of that song. And then actually Rayms in my new script, yung Sinturong Pagkaligtasan, nasa script din siya. So be ready, we will reach out to you.
Oh no.
And then of course Shooting Star was there in the script pa lang. There were stuff also that let's say Gone by Urban Dub. We didn't know. Urban Dub just decided to play Gone. We thought it would be Soul Searching or whatever, but they decided to play Gone, and it was such a perfect fit. We wanted Manila Girl also. Tapos may mga stuff na pagtapos na yung film, doon namin pinasok. So there was like a lot of the Yagit, Jun Sabayton's music was like the Pinoy experimental scene. We got a lot from Sabaw. Actually, I just want to shout out also to Food, Shelter, and Clothing. Sila yung they were the song in that scene where Jun Sabayton is dancing, and then parang papasok si Ketchup, things like wag na nga lang, tapos umalis siya. They were mistakenly miscredited as just Sabaw, which is the compilation they were in. So thank you to Bong Tan and Food, Shelter, and Clothing for 10 years later on correcting me about that, and so shout out to them.
After before pala ng RAKENROL, you were part of the band. You were part of bands. So how did you initially get into film?
I always wanted to be a filmmaker. I think yun going back to Diego. Si Diego yung the one who opened my eyes to film. So I remember even we watched this film called Bandwagon in 1997 or something. I was a teenager pa. But that was a film about a band and no one remembers it. It's like a really like napanood lang niya sa HBO or something. But it was like also about the indie scene. So there was a lot of like stuff to go back to, like Singles, ni Cameron Crowe, or The Commitments, one of my favorite band movies ever. Sid and Nancy, mga ganon. So I think they go together, and of course, yun nga, parang I always tell like students when they ask me, yun nga, I started out as a band manager. So I managed Shudad, I managed Gold Star, I managed Monster Bot, Chico Science.
While you were in
but
college.
when I was in college.
While you were in college, you were managing bands.
Yes. And yun nga, parang I may konting anxiety ako because I was like, this is not what I want to do. I want to be a filmmaker. Why am I managing bands? But all those bands eventually got signed and they needed a music video director. And so it's like, gago kayo kung hindi ako yung music video director. So my first two music videos were Sandwich, were Shudad, yung Radio Guy, and then Monster Bot, Explosive. So parang, I guess in a way...
Sandwich was a school project.
Sandwich was a school project,
video,
yes. Butterfly Carnival.
Yes.
I found the file. Should I upload it? Have I uploaded
No!
it? So, yeah. So, music really played a big part. And of course, I feel more attuned to the music community than I do the film community. Parang parang family talaga for me yung music.
Paano nyo pinili yung artista? The main actors.
Okay. Super love telling the story. So we knew, I saw Ketchup in a film called Sa Aking Pagkagising Mula sa Kamulatan, or I always get the title wrong. Basta long title. By Ato Bautista. At sobrang nung napanood ko siya, parang fuck, ang galing ng actor na to. I really want to work with him. And so yun, when we wrote Ketchup's character, we definitely yung inspiration doon was a lot of yung mga sina Russell ng Tame, yung mga from Pete Like Pin, si Ron Ruiz. Kasi when we wrote Mo, that was like yung parang medyo jaded na baka nagde-day job na nakalimutan na yung band scene, pero parang sobrang astig niya pag diba? Parang when people remember that person, diba? Sobrang punks. So yun. So Ketchup was perfect for the Mo role. Si Jason Abalos, I saw in a film called Endo, which is a beautiful film by Jade Castro. And yun, I think perfect yan. Si Jason was kind of based on Mikey Amisoso. Kind of like this kasi he became the bassist only because no one wanted to be the bassist, but siya yung songwriter, diba? And so ayun. And then si Alwin auditioned and we super loved him, like super fun, great guy. And then I remember for Irene talaga was the crucial role. We wanted sina Ann Curtis, sina Heart Evangelista to play Irene. Tapos yun nga, because of the indie film siya, we couldn't get them. And I remember that si Glyza, nung simula pa lang, si Glyza was she played the sister of Claudine Barreto in some horror film in Star Cinema. Parang siya, always support. But she kept on saying she heard about the film and she kept on nagpaparamdam palagi na she wanted to audition. So I remember nung auditions, everyone, di ba, you'll ask them to sing kasi si Irene yung singer, di ba? And they would always sing, this is how old this film is. They would always sing, Sometimes I Love Ya! Yung Alicia Keys, di ba? So puro pop. So when it came to Glyza, sabi ko, can you sing something naman na medyo rock? Something like Alanis Morissette or Avril Lavigne. Ganun pa yung mga and then sabi niya, okay, can I sing Velvet Underground?
Oh.
And then parang sabi niya, parang like, ito na, ikaw na yan, sa'yo na to. And then yun, parang ni low-key stalk pa siya sa Friendster pa nga ata dati. Then parang, oh my God, yung cover, yung user pic niya was, ginagaya niya yung debut ni Bjork. Yung
Homogenic?
album cover ni Bjork.
Debut na.
Yeah, yung debut. Yung black and white na.
Yes. Debut is the title.
Yeah. Exactly. The debut of Bjork debut.
Debut yung title.
And then, she also, then yun, kinukuha niya man Life Without Building. So I'm like, grabe tong girl na to, sino to? And just a small aside, Glyza visited LA and I took her out. And we watched Bjork. We ended up watching Bjork.
Wow.
So, sobrang I mean, I really, it was such a cosmic getting Glyza.
Si Dieter is also perfect for the role. In fact, when I posted about rock and roll, like the next few hours, puro quotes ni Dieter yung lumalabas sa feed ko. Parang, sino to? And then I realized, it's Jackie Rocha. How did you get Dieter, or paano siya napasok? He was like, diba? Parang he was huge at the time.
Tsaka ang galing
and he was huge, but you got him in a side role na, diba? Pumayag siya to do all of those things eh. How'd you get him to do it?
Yeah, I think I mean, diba he had Blow, he had this band.
Okay.
Na palagi nagpe-present sa sa Rock Award. So talaga siya eh, diba? Parang rockista. And I think he wanted a different role. I remember we set a meeting with him sa Big Sky. Tapos pagpasok niya, parang Jackie Rocha na siya. Parang kasi on the joke talaga siya. And it's so funny kasi like even I think mga 2 years ago, nakita ko siya sa gym. Tapos so I was at the gym, he passes by. I call out to him. I'm like, Dieter! And then he looks at me and then he goes, the name's Jackie. And then he walks away. Walang hi, how are you? Kumusta? Long time no see. As in, name's Jackie Roch. And then he leaves.
He's still in character.
In character 3 years after, I think 6 years after that. So, galing. We love Dieter. We love the character. Sabi rin hate talaga.
Sabi rin ni Diego na actually it's your love letter to the music industry. Could you expound on ano yung feelings mo rin exactly when Diego said that?
Yeah, no, I think especially now na it's weird now that it's on Netflix. Kasi naalala ko nung lumabas yan sa nung Cinemalaya, it was such a great experience, diba? It was we had a concert pa after you guys played, and and it's such a nice. I think I remember Rayms. I left the next day for LA to take my masters. So parang such a great, best despedida party ever. But when it came out in theaters, it was parang bagyo. I think it was one of the bigger bagyo na so yun, it didn't even really last long. So now it's only now that it's on Netflix that people are really responding to the film. Even yung mga friends natin, they never got to see the movie. So it feels like now that people are reacting to the film, may konting sadness around it also. Na parang, oh my God, all of these places, Mayrix, Route 196, Magnet, diba, Giho, and U107, they're all gone. Parang siya. And then so yun nga, I've read a few reviews online na parang lakas maka-time capsule na, oh my God, diba, naalala ko Friday, pupunta akong Mayday. The next day, Saturday, pupunta akong Admit 1. Monday, na akong Rocky Okay sa Magnet. And so, parang, and these are the people you would see, diba? And yung parang crazy artist and hipster girl, and so parang it's so sad na, and I think that in retrospect we examined that in rock and roll na ano, 'di ba? I mean, rare talaga yung tulad natin, and Ellie actually says it in a speech na until now we're doing the thing we love, 'di ba? Parang but for a lot of people, ano, like iniwan na nila yun. Parang they just, 'di ba? Even like these indie heroes I had not from the US, parang IT people na sila, or they work in offices. And then once upon a time, we had this. Parang gano'n. So, it's now tinged with like this bittersweet color. And then, but at least we have this to remember the scene by. Parang gano'n.
Wow.
I'm really happy that it's in Netflix kasi nga, like you said, when it came out in cinema, sa Manila lang yun eh. Diba? Our friends and people who like the music or the scene in the provinces or abroad, our friends never got to see it until now. Pero wala pa rin yata sa Netflix International. Kasi some people like, sina Annette are like, wala pa dito sa amin. Diba? Parang, but maybe soon, maybe soon. Tell us about your journey, Nax. 'Di ba? Parang you grew up, how was it growing up in your house and then growing up with NU, and then 'di ba? Inabot mo rin yung era sa Ateneo ng where all these bands are, 'di ba? Growing up like Itchy Worm, Ciudad, Chico Size, Sponge Cola. How was Sandwich nga si Mark is from Ateneo. How was it growing up?
It was great. I think, of course, parang medyo sheltered yung early days ko youth. That's why I think being in NU, parang eye-opening talaga siya. I think, I'm sininang may rin kaya ninang ko yun. Because she taught me so much about indie rock, about just this other world. Parang imagine being kind of like just kind of living this very sheltered normal life, and then suddenly your eyes are open to a completely different world. And diba, I mean the way the rock scene was portrayed kasi in movies, especially in the 90s, parang puro drugs, puro bad stuff, alcoholism, and when you get exposed to it in real life, it's hindi pala ganun. It's so open, it's so inviting, it's so inclusive. Like yun nga, a band that would sell 4 times platinum will play in a small stage in España, and you will literally have to pass them to go to the bathroom. Parang ganun. And then they'll just go down, and then when you go down, you can talk to them. So parang grabe yung breaking of barriers. I think it's only sa rock scene na ganun na parang wala talagang barriers when it comes to like celebrity and fan na and so we wanted to show that that's why that first time of Irene and Audie in Mayrix, parang siya, 'di ba? May kinausap sila bigla ng person just there na parang, ingat kayo Parang people watch out for each other, people look out for each other, people celebrate each other, they stay for each other's sets. And so you can be opening for the Beastie Boys and Foo Fighters in Araneta Coliseum 2000s. And the next day you'll play like 1 mile away in
Naalala ko ulit dahil dun sa sinabi mo eksena. It's so random. Matet as herself. How did that even fit the movie? How? I'm like, when I was watching the movie, hey, it's Matet as herself. Diba? How did you pull that off?
You know what? It's super, kasi for some weird reason, right up until rock and roll, my weird obsession / fascination ako with child stars. So I even made a short film called Child Star with G. Tonji. Of course, Dave Tujao Mapa starred a child star, si Marnie Arcilla from MTV, and they talk about kasi weird kasi talaga yung child stars. There's such like sina Lady Lee, sina R. Herrera, where are they now, diba? Parang and so naging lang for us na, oh my God, I love it na this child star is now like smoking sa tabi and then the child star siya, diba? Aside from you really, the child star si Matet. And very reclusive si Matet. We couldn't find her. Wala siyang social media, wala siyang Facebook. I really had to scour the earth to get Matet. Even for, well, by the time this airs, we have a reunion tonight for on Facebook Live. Please plug, guys. And then,
Yes.
but yun nga, si Matet di ko mahanap. But then finally last night na-contact ko na siya sa WhatsApp. So she's gonna have a surprise appearance in the reunion. So, yeah.
Talking about your journey, no. So, before rock and roll, I think one of your first movies was a bold movie. Gamitan yata.
First movie can.
So,
Scored by Rayms.
Yun
Thank
nga.
you, Raymund.
Sabi na kanina, ako nag-score nun ah. Sobrang interesting. But talking about gamitan, I think you were 22, 21 at the time, right? So what was the experience like directing Bold, parang Bobby Taylor, tapos 21, di ba? Parang grabe. Ang intense siguro ng experience. Can you tell?
Ang intense. No, parang imagine, di ba, imagine college ka, yun ang Patricia Beer, yun yung mga pinagpapatasyan ng mga tao and stuff. And yun nga, parang, ang close ng agwat. I guess, Gamitan was made a year after I graduated or 2 years. So parang, from that fresh, oh my God, pupunta akong SM to watch, kabit ni Mrs. Montero or something. And then literally, now na it's 20 years away, I can say, pag sinashoot yun, talagang nakatingin. Hindi ako nakatingin sa monitor eh. So it was surreal. And also Maui Taylor, that was her first movie. So I remember parang the first sex scene we shot. Parang Maui, kinakabahan ka ba? This is your first love scene. And she's like, oo, kinakabahan ako. I'm like, ako rin eh. Because we didn't know what we were doing. We really didn't know what we were doing. And so thank you, Rayms, for kind of like saving. The music was such a big thing. And on opening credits was Sugarstock even. So big thing doon ng music.
What did you learn from that first movie? What are the
I think because it was my first movie and it was a studio film, everything na lang inaano ng producers. They were palagi may comment, palagi may ganito, and then so the most important thing I think I learned is like you have to make it personal. If it's not personal, even though I was the writer director of Gamitan, I really can't watch it now kasi maraming bad memories involved with it, but I should watch it again. But yun nga, like so I made Keka after na parang, oh my God, this is what I want to make. This is the kind of filmmaker I want to be.
Sobrang ganda ng Keka.
Thank you. So for me, it's really Keka and Rock and Roll. Those are the two na parang, those are my two films. Parang gano'n.
And then you went to the States to do your masters, right? Tapos you worked there for a while. I've never asked you this. Why did you come back? You were working in Hollywood already.
Yeah. No. I was working in Hollywood, but I was doing more office stuff. So it's so funny kasi may film na lumabas recently called The Assistant. And it's kind of like parang the assistant of a Weinstein type guy. Pero yung ginagawa niya, assistant work. And then parang sobrang na-trigger ako kasi parang, oh my God, ito yung life ko sa LA. And then yun pala, yung producer nun, yung company where I was working.
So ikaw talaga yun.
Yeah, so I told my wife, but I was like, wow, this is so close to life. I used to work in an office like this. It's like, what is the office? And it's like, it's called 3311. And that's the producer of this film. I'm like, oh nga, no, shit. But I remember there was a guy na film finance, yung job niya. And I remember asking him, why don't you do TV finance? Why are you doing film finance? And then yung sagot niya sa akin is because film is in my sleep. I know I can do TV finance. I know it's so easy, but film is what's in my sleep. And then dun parang that's when my eyes were open. Na parang my God, o nga, no? What is the thing, pag nagdidrift away yung mind mo, ano yung pinag-iisipan mo? When you're driving and you're just kind of like zoning out, what are you thinking about? I'm not thinking about doing office work in Hollywood. Kahit na nasa Hollywood ako, I'm thinking about stories. I'm thinking about, filmmaking, diba? So it's like, do what's in your sleep, man. Like, go back home and So
That's the next title of your album, Do What's in Your Sleep.
yeah,
Diba?
So yeah.
Gusto ko yan Do What's in Your Sleep. Gagamitin ko yan.
Yeah, diba?
Quark
Go ahead.
Henares.
If you want to make it into a song or an album title or whatever,
I'm definitely using it. I'm stealing it. Do What's in Your Sleep.
That's one of my mantras is that. And then one of my mantras actually came from RAKENROL. Pero galing sa atin yun eh. We would always like say it to each other in the music scene. And we'd say it to each other as a joke. And it's best said, I think, Taglish. You can't say it in English, you can't say it in Tagalog. Yung art lang ng art. O yan, art lang ng art. Gawa ka na lang yan. Kahit 20 people yung pumapansin doon. Kahit 1 million or 15 or it's just you and your family, but just keep making, diba? And I that's also something I learned from you, Rayms, na parang just keep making, diba? You are a performer. I remember yung Eraserheads reunion, nung nag-stop, diba? Nagsagiho kayo after, and because you're a performer, diba? You can't help it. Andyan yun eh. Parang
I got so much flack for that.
Yeah, sorry because I posted the video. But I love what you wrote. I'm a performer. We do what we have to do, diba? Parang, and diba, you don't ask to contact my agent for this or contact my manager, But you just have to do it, diba?
So you come back to the Philippines after Hollywood. What was your plan and what did you do?
Well, I went to business school. And I think, swerte. A lot of things are timing in life. So I went to business school. Pero at that time, yun, business of entertainment kasi USC, diba? We would have classes in Hulu. We'd have may isang I remember one class I had, yung guest speaker Group Love, yung band na Group Love. Or the creator of Fargo, the series. So ito yung pasimula pa lang yung mga Netflix, Hulu, the Disney Plus wasn't around yet.
What is it? 2015 mga ganyan?
2013.
13.
So I think yun kakalabas lang ng House of Cards, the first original for Netflix. So imagine being at the ground floor. You're literally in Hollywood while all of this is happening. So when I came back, I started trying to make something like Maker Studios, which is a multi-channel network, and yun nga, parang we were very aware of podcasting also and all of these things. And so that's why Globe hired me in the end to head Globe Studios. Kasi di ba yun nga, forward thinking, future, may parang just this vision of what could be, and then I had that. So ang swerte ko lang talaga that happened.
So, nakita ko, Globe Studios has produced so many movies lately, as in All of You, Goyo, Midnight in a Perfect World, Fangirl, yung Dead Kids. Why is it for you so important that Filipino movies be on mainstream media outlets like Netflix?
I think kasi diba, very interesting yung Pinas in the sense na we're the country that doesn't need, we're probably the only Asian country actually that doesn't need subtitles when you watch a movie, diba? When you watch a Hollywood film. So, sobrang lakas ng Hollywood sa Philippines. If you look at the top 5 films that have performed in the Philippines, number one is Endgame, number 2 is Infinity War, number 3 is Civil War. As in, number 4 is Beauty and the Beast, number 5 I think palang is The House of Us, or basta a Kathniel film. So imagine, 'di ba? Only isa lang yung sa top 5 yung Pinoy. Again, parang 'di ba? Yung ability of the Pinoy audience to kind of like adapt and diba? Para people are learning Korean, people are so into K-pop. Na may danger talaga na mawala yung culture natin. Music, film, television, for example. And so that's why it's really so important to kind of like keep it alive, keep it fresh. Diba, we have Viva Max, we have iWant, but the ones yung mabenta talaga dito is Netflix, diba? So, and when Disney Plus comes, I'm 100% sure it'll be Disney Plus. So, that and of course Netflix. Thank you Netflix for getting rock and roll. But they only need maybe 10 Filipino films a month, diba? Whereas Viva Max, I want yung lifeblood nila is Pinoy entertainment. So we really need to keep supporting that. We really need to keep supporting Philippine or else, diba? Parang we'll really get nowhere. And it's such an important part of Philippine history, diba?
Since you're working in Globe, what exactly is your job? Parang I know I know the answer, but tell us what you do.
Yeah, I head Globe Studios, so that's the film and TV and online video arm of Globe. We originally were started to kind of like do the Globe branded stuff, but then yun nga parang then we moved on to like movies and series like sa pelikula and online shows online and podcasts also. So yun like that's really the vision, diba? Kind of like to make stuff for the younger audiences na hindi masyadong star centric, diba? Hindi masyadong celebrity, but more about the stories, more about the creators. So yung thing is, diba, I was talking about my experience with Gamitan na nakialam talaga yung producers and sa I want
Nagamit ka.
ako nagamit ako. So this one we really believe in the visions of these filmmakers. Tonetta Daune, Dan Villegas, Mick Red, Eric Mati.
By the way, Quark, yung di ba pinanood ko yung fangirl, hindi tapos naputol sa gitna. Tapos hindi na kami pinabalik.
Upstream.
Oh,
but
di ba sabi mo just like wait 15 minutes and wait and just reconnect and no, ayaw na kami pabalikin. So nakakainis, nabitin ako. Anyway.
So never, sige, I'll give you a voucher.
Yes!
It's coming back.
Anyway, so hindi ko na natapos yung film kasi parang 2 hours later, I tried keep going back, wala pa rin. Anyway, naalala ko lang ngayon. Naalala ko lang yan. Sorry.
Yes, I will send you a voucher.
Tell us about Slate, your podcast.
Slate, yeah, it's with Mong's wife, Mel Lozano Alcaraz. Si Mel actually was the behind that. Parang she always wanted to do something na TV and movies, and so she wanted to do it with me and Ramon. And so finally, I think when Globe Studios was like, sige, let's do something fun naman na different. And well, I'm preaching to the choir, diba? Parang, okay, why not podcast? Sige, try natin. It's minimal expense, and so ayun, we did Slate as the pilot because yun nga parang you don't need to pay 2/3 of the hosts. Kasi parang taga-Globe kami ni Mel. And so yun, and then after that we did stuff like Walang Kwentang Podcast with Tonet Gege, or kasi we just launched yung kay Bianca Gonzalez, yung Paano Ba To. So yun, nag-grow na siya. And Francis Reyes has a podcast with us na Toaster Roast. Na parang in the room.
Yeah. Oh, is that the one with
Kim?
With Kim Marvilla. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so ayun, Slate is really just a movie, TV, and streaming podcast for people who love to watch entertainment.
Where can they find it?
You can find it anywhere you get your podcasts. So we use
Spotify,
Apple, Google Podcasts, iTunes, etc.
I have may fan question lang ako. Kasi ang Keka is nauna lumabas sa Kill Bill, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero parang ang galing na parang hindi naman pareho pero it's in the same vein. Ano yung experiences mo na like how did you come up with that? Is it based on sa Lady Snowblood or ano or
I was thinking of so very high school kasi yung concept ng Keka, di ba? But I just knew I wanted to make kasi growing up, yung two favorite genres ko is rom-com. So Sleepless in Seattle, Singles, While You Were Sleeping. Favorite ko yung mga yan. But also serial killer movies. Seven, Silence of the Lambs, mga ganon. So ever since high school ako, I was like, ay parang gusto kong gumawa ng ng film na serial killer romantic comedy.
galing?
Huminto ba?
Nag-stop siya.
Nag-stop siya. Okay. Antayin lang natin.
Yeah.
Anong oras to para i-edit ko?
12:03.
Hindi, oras ng yan, tele.
Sorry.
Anyway, let's wait.
Behind, sorry, nawala ba?
Sorry, nawala. Again.
Wait, which part?
Doon sa saan ba tayo nag-freeze?
You wanted rom-com and slasher films.
Okay. So a serial killer romantic comedy. Pero walang serial killer Philippines. So better to range. Also because para mas makarelate ka sa main character. But we didn't want it na parang crazy. Yung usual na pulling their hair. Like, parang normal, parang tropa lang. Yun lang, pumapatay ng tao. Namamatay tao. Yung so there, that was the behind Keka. Actually, Tarantino saw it eventually. And yun, parang, so imagine, my favorite movie kasi is Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is the reason I became a filmmaker. And I remember kami ni Myrene, kami ni Diego, we'd keep quoting Pulp Fiction as in for days on end. Parang for months even. Kasi I would do my summer job at NU, doon ako every day. So parang puro na naman kami. Pulp Fiction. So imagine the person who made that film suddenly saw your film and then kino-quote niya sa'yo. Then parang he's like, I want to have lunch with Katia Santos. I want to have dinner with Katia Santos. I want to have dinner with this person. And then he kept quoting it. So parang ang surreal ng experience na, my God, like I've been quoting you my whole life and now you're quoting me.
Yeah. You also met Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah, I met Samuel L. Jackson and we did together. Yung the path of the righteous man is set on all sides. We did it together. And he was like, damn, you remember that. Yeah.
Do you have...
Pero hindi.
Do you have video?
No,
yeah.
Do you have no future movie in the works that you're writing and directing? I know you're so busy with Globe, but...
Yeah, it's been 5 years since I directed a movie, so I think it's time. I wrote something that was based on the yung catfishing incident na nangyari nung beginning of quarantine, yung about the trans woman from Cebu na catfish. And so it's really interesting kasi she was catfished pero 5 yung nag-catfish sa kanya. So one person yung nagte-text, one person yung voice, one person yung on cam na So,
wait,
crazy.
what's catfish? Sorry.
Sorry.
Pardon my ignorance.
No problem. Catfishing is yung parang may na-meet ka sa Tinder tapos in love ka. And then parang may picture pogi, 'di ba, na and then they pretend to be someone else but they're not that person.
Okay.
So it's catfish kasi there's a movie called Catfish na documentary na nangyari yun. So yun. So it was about that incident na niloko yung Cebuana na to. And yun parang big con. Like 5 different people were playing the same guy.
Wow.
Ayun. So yun yung may yun yung ginamit yung sa script andun sa end credits yung intro.
Catfish in Tagalog is
Hito.
Hito, di ba? Ganda,
Hinito.
ganda. Hinito. Nahito. Pahito.
Pahito.
I gotta do that soundtrack, Quark. We gotta work together. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. Like, I've done so much soundtracks the whole pandemic.
Oh, talaga?
Kaso it's all for my, for my silly videos. So I've been doing a lot of, sound experiments, pero wala.
Yeah, no, actually, si Crown is doing the soundtrack, but I know I have a list here na parang as you know, as like yung rock and roll, most of the soundtrack is 'di ba? Is actual songs.
Yes.
So Forever Few is in the soundtrack.
Oh, talaga? Si Daren Squid 9?
Yeah, okay, cool. And then yun, so sino sa wait, look, andito ako, may Spotify playlist to be used in the movie. So, 2 tracks from Natin are here, and they're both your songs. And so it's in turong pangkalistasan and dahan-dahan. So yung closing credits, dahan-dahan. And then Forever Few.
I did a live version of Dahan-Dahan yata in the start of the pandemic in YouTube, I think.
Oh, sige.
I think
I will search for that.
I think, or just the drums.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Please send me the of course. I mean, for if just in case you don't know, Daren, see Rayms, you're the musician I've collaborated with the most.
Oh, wow.
So,
na hindi sinasadya, I mean, di ba? Para...
But you made the theme song for Super Noipy. The theme song for Super Noipy was Rayms. The band I've done the most music videos for is Sandwich. And then we shot may unreleased Squid 9 video. that we shot in the beginning na Mel edited.
Oh, I did. Oh, si Mel pala. Wait. Full circle. Estudyante mo rin si Atari, di ba?
Atari was not my student, but I gave
talks
for her class.
A talk. Yes.
Yeah, I gave talks for and I gave talks for her. Like she would ask me to give talks. So
full circle.
And I can't believe Atari is like 20. Weird.
Before we let you go, maybe you said this in End Slate, but tell us your Daren?
Top 5 current Netflix shows.
At the moment, maganda yung at the moment.
At the moment. Well, pwede ba yung recently finished? Kasi,
basta current na gusto mo.
Yung Queen's Gambit is definitely.
Oh, good one.
And then nag-top 10 ko rin yung Last Dance. For sure. Right now on Netflix, we're really into
kahit hindi Netflix, kahit
okay. My number one show, one of my top in last year is an HBO Go show. It's called I May Destroy You.
I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
I May Destroy You.
Yeah.
What is it about?
It's about it's a black English African na writer, na blogger na was a victim of parang yung na roofie siya, but it's a comedy. So it's a little bit like Fleabag, it's pero so ang ganda ng the way she treats rape and rape culture and kasi ang bigat ng di ba? Ang bigat ng topics. And it's actually based on her experiences. Pero the way she treats it, parang it's laugh out loud funny also at times, and at the same time super poignant. It's only I think 8 episodes maybe. It's only 8 episodes, only 30 minutes, but I May Destroy It. Really, really good. And then Attack on Titan, the anime version.
Yeah.
Song Exploder is
Rishi Kirsch Hairway. How do you say his name?
Rishi. Yeah, ganda ng ng 9 Inch Nails episode, we just watched that, the Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Grabe, you can really feel yung hurt ni Trent Reznor while making the song.
I follow his the audio version kasi ang dami nun eh.
Dami. Yeah, so same here, like the podcast has been following for years. So 5 5 na ba yan? I think, yeah, that's 5.
May last question ako, sorry, Rayms, bago tayo mag...
No, go ahead.
Kasi ako, like, I look at the Rotten Tomato and IMDb scores. As a director and as a fan, does it affect you or the way you see movies? Kasi lahat tayo, I'm sure, tumitingin, di ba? So, for you, ano lang yung take mo on that?
No, it does. It definitely does. Like the scores. Di ba? I don't know if you follow Letterboxd, but that one's like more social media, pero for film lovers. Yun yung medyo obsession ko ngayon. So you can write reviews. People can write reviews. It's been actually very touching reading a lot of the rock and roll reviews kasi di ba, it's yun nga yung napag-usapan natin na earlier on na parang ito yung buhay ko nung 2011, nami-miss ko yung magsa-save up ako para lang makapunta ako sa Sagiho para mapanood ko yung mga banda. So it's as much as a musician's movie, rock and roll is, it's also a fan movie, di ba? Parang it's about creating, di ba? And then kind of like creating because you were inspired also by creation. So so they do matter as much as we say it doesn't. I mean, if the film is badly reviewed, I'd say, I don't care. But yeah.
Quark, thank you so much for talking to us. Congrats on Rock and Roll.
Thanks, Rayms. Thank you, and thank you for being part of it.
I'll see you soon. I don't know. We just like bump into each other in projects, and recently we did one with Juno and Yang. Yeah. And diba, biglaan lang. So I won't be surprised when we'll be working again soon. But thank you for being our guest.
And I will contact you for Forever Few. And if you guys have tracks you want to send over, please. We'd love to for the new movie. Parang once in a 5-year run lang ako nagmo-movie. So always means a lot. And it's always great to have you be a part of that.
Thank you. Stay cool.
All right, you guys.
Take care.